Frogman found dead.
Oh, that's too corny. Seashore mystery.
Corny, look who's talking. Something simple, direct. Body on beach.
A body came back.
Yeah, but from where? That's the big question.
Yeah. Well, we better get cracking.
All right, let's see some action. How quick can you be?
Well, I put these necks in a soup. You can have some prints in half an hour.
Marvelous. I can see it all now. Exclusive by Paul Kay.
And pictures by Gay Clifford.
Hey, Pat.
The job in the Gulf will have to look after itself, Baxter, till we get another MI7 out there. Now, I've called you in a very special job. Identification. It's this Frogman mystery.
Yes, I read about it. Dead frogman on Irish coast, washed up there. Poor devil's most likely one of those amateur aqua divers. Come in shows these days like herrings. Anyone who can afford a pair of flippers or a mask.
No, not this one. This outfit's genuine Frogman stuff. Take a look at that, will you? Oh. Now, you see that ring? Once I had occasion to reprimand one of our chaps for wearing a distinctive job just like that.
Fallon? Mark Fallon? But I thought that Fallon was...
Missing? Oh, yes, we wrote him off as missing after your report from Berlin in, when was it? November last, wasn't it? Mm. Yes, it is. 15th. You'd been working together.
Separately, but keeping in touch on that double agent trouble.
Double agent? It's too pretty a name for some damn double-crossing swine. It cost the sum of our best men. Sherwood, Brunwell, Reynolds, half a dozen others. And always the very man we could least afford to lose. All captured, imprisoned, murdered, executed, because of someone in MI7.
That was Fallon's theory, sir. When he asked me to link up with him in Berlin, it seemed he was onto something big. But when I flew in from Paris, he jumped the gun. There was a message to say he'd crossed the line to meet some contact in East Berlin who might help us put a stop to this once and for all.
And there wasn't a contact?
Oh, sure there was. The wrong kind. Waiting to put a stop to him. Remember, you pulled me out the next day? Was there something else about him, sir?
No, just the usual crop of rumors. Nothing to back them up. Except, of course, the big rumor.
The big rumor?
Yes. That Fallon was the double agent.
Oh, I can't take that, sir. Not because Fallon was a friend of mine, but... well, he was one of our top men.
Yes, I know. The man who sold out Sherwood and all the others was a pretty clever worker, too, you know, Baxter. Clever enough to know when to quit.
You mean he thought I might have been getting close to him?
You worked pretty hard in that case, didn't you? Hard enough to make Fallon think that it was time for him to make a bolt over the line to join his pals.
No?
3 weeks ago, there was a sabotage attempt in Plymouth. Frogman stuff. Now remember that Fallon was a top-line frogman. He was decorated for it during the war.
It fits. If Fallon and the dead man are the same.
If they are, we'll know that he wasn't liquidated last November. Or even in jail, which means...
Fallon is the double agent.
You knew him well, Baxter. You're the one who's qualified to prove it, one way or the other.
But if it isn't Fallon...
If it isn't, we start right over again. But we'll get this double-crossing gentleman if I have to tear the whole of this damn place apart. Emerson?
Yes, sir?
Is Mr. Baxter's flight confirmed?
Yes, sir. 451, sir.
Thank you. Well, you fly into Dublin, the first plane in the morning. Flight 451. Oh, and Baxter, keep clear of the local police, will you? We don't want to get involved with another government. Well, good luck, Tim.
Thank you, sir.
International Airlines announced the arrival of their flight EI-451 from London. To passengers arriving from London, we wish you Caed Mila Fortune. Passengers traveling onwards by air today should check at the passenger service desk. The message board is located near the main exit. Thank you.
I want the office of a photo news agency. Do you know where it is?
Photo news agency is in Lawler Street.
Where's that?
Do you know Dublin at all?
No.
Well, I think the best thing for you would be to get a taxi.
Where from?
Just outside the main door.
Thank you.
When you've done with it, Maureen. Oh, I am sorry. I didn't know anybody was here. Can I help you?
I hope so. I'm an insurance investigator.
Why, you know? Would you like a cup of tea?
No, thank you. Is the manager about, or Mr. Kay?
I'm sorry, but the manager's out and Mr. Kay's away. Can I help you?
Not unless you know something about that frogman on the beach. You know, the dead one.
Oh, that. Caused quite a stir, didn't he? I'm glad it wasn't me that found him.
Do you know who did?
Oh, yes. It was one of the visitors. Miss Linda Howard. I heard Mr. Kay talking to Miss Clifford about him this morning.
Did they say where she was staying?
Oh, I can tell you that, too. Paul, Mr. Kay, he's telephoned her at the Beach Hotel several times trying to get a personal interview. I don't think she wants to play.
I don't blame her. Bodies and holidays don't seem to mix. Look, if I call back later, do you think he'll be here?
Oh, I doubt it. He's gone down again to Ballymoy. Follow-up stuff and all that.
And Miss Clifford?
Oh, she'll be with him, to be sure. She's always in his pocket.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you. You've been a great help.
It's a pleasure.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Reception committee go all right?
Perfectly. I checked him in on the flight. He took a taxi to our office in Layla Street.
Did you check him there?
There was nothing to check since none of us were in. He caught the next train down here, the 10:15. I was on it, too. Checked in at the hotel, unpacked, and went out for a walk.
He's wasting no time. From now on, keep close tabs on him.
Mm-hmm.
Careful how you do it, though. He's a shrewd operator. Just make sure that he doesn't get out of your sight for the next day or two.
There's just one thing that bothers me. Paul Kay. Now, if he should decide that there's a better story somewhere else, he'll be off there like a flash, and I shall have to follow him. Remember, I'm the girl with the camera.
We'll have to keep him here. I'll need you.
There's only one thing that'll hold Paul Kay, and that's a really big follow-up to the break he's already had with the frogman.
Let's really give him something to sharpen his interest on.
Yes, mister. And what can I do for you?
I wish to see the body of a man.
Hmm?
It's someone I may be able to identify.
Boy, are you a relative?
Well, I was very close to him.
Well, now, which one did you want to see?
The one that was picked up on the beach.
Well, now, isn't that a shocking pity? So that's the very one that can't be viewed?
Why not?
Orders, sir. Orders. Superintendent Inspector O'Brien has just been here. And who do you think was with him? The chief pathologist himself. And the two of them have been in there, giving this stiff what you might call the VIP treatment. Now, look, you wouldn't ask a man of my responsibility to break a rule now, would you?
When will this rule be lifted?
Oh, not before the inquest. Good day to you now, sir.
Good day to you. Can I get you something, sir?
I'd like a cold beer, please.
Drop it, this might be more to your liking.
All right. Goodbye.
I saw where you came from. There's many like yourself needs a bracer when they come from over there.
Would you care to join me?
With pleasure, sir. Would it be someone near and dear to yourself that's in there?
I couldn't get in to see, thanks to that crotchety old blighter over there.
Oh, that'll be Andy. He's been there for 40 years. Has he been getting on his high horse?
Andy thinks he's a very important man.
Ah, that old devil. That comes of living with people that can't answer back. What was it you wanted?
Just a little information.
And who has more right to it than a sorrowing man? Wait there. Tim, go across and tell... Tim, go and tell Andy that I want him here. And tell him that this man is a friend of mine from Kerry. And that he better tell him all he wants to know, or he'll never blow the froth off another pint in this pub. Away with you now. This will be worth watching. Come on, Bill. Come on, Bridie. I knew a little gentle persuasion would do the trick.
Well, drinks all round. And whatever's usual for Andy.
Good man yourself. Don't tell him what he wants.
Very well, sir. What do you want to know?
Anything that you can tell me about that body. You have seen it, I suppose.
Well, be dead I have. And it's not a very pleasant sight. You know what I'm going to tell you? The condition that poor fella's in. Sure, his own mother wouldn't know him.
What about the ring?
Ring? What ring?
The ring that was found on the dead man's hand.
I think you must make the mistake, sir. Sure, there wasn't any ring. No ring at all.
Damn it, man. Look, Andy, are you sure about that?
Sure, of course I'm sure. Didn't I drive down the mortuary wagon the very minute the inspector phoned? And there was nobody there before me, barring the inspector, the two from the newspapers, and the girl that found the body.
Oh, yes, the girl who found the body. Well, thank you, Andy. You've been a great help.
All right, you can have it now.
Hello? Yes, this is Miss Howard. Who? Oh, tell him I'll be down in a minute, will you? Thank you.
Miss Howard will be down in a moment, sir. Would you mind waiting over there?
Thank you.
Reservation for Mrs. Robinson.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Robinson. Would you mind signing the register, please?
Is there a Mr. Baxter waiting for me?
He's over there, miss.
Oh.
Room 204.
Mr. Baxter?
Miss Howard?
How do you do?
How do you do? Look, before I explain myself, would you care for a drink?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'll have a sherry.
Splendid. Waiter,
Yes, sir?
how'd you take it?
Sweet, please.
We're going to have a sweet sherry and a Jameson for me. We'll take it in the lounge.
Very good, sir.
Have you been to Ireland before?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Oh, yes, but it's a delightful place, you know. Some gorgeous country, very close to here.
Are you on holiday here?
I'm beginning to wish I were. Thank you. Would you care for a cigarette?
No, thank you.
A room 30.
Very good, sir.
Oh, so we're both resident. How nice.
Slonta.
Schlonta. Gezellige.
Cheers.
Cheers. You're here on business, then?
In a way. Miss Howard, I must apologize for butting in like this, but...
Oh, you're not the press, are you?
No. But I would like to talk to you about that rather unpleasant business of the body.
All right.
And it's business, I promise you. Insurance business. You see, I represent a company.
Good gracious. Don't tell me they're afraid of paying the poor man's life insurance.
No, it's nothing quite like that. But what we did insure was the jewelry of a very wealthy lady who was foolish enough to take it on a yachting trip.
Well, why shouldn't she? Possibly she wanted to impress her friends.
Possibly. But what she did impress was a gang of jewel thieves in the harbor of San Averno. 3 weeks later, they did a first-class professional job on that yacht.
Oh, I see. So that's why you're so interested in the frogman.
That's right. You see, a frogman could be the way they got aboard that yacht. Now, if I could identify that...
I'm sorry, Mr. Baxter. Don't ask me for details. But I'm absolutely certain that nobody could identify that poor man.
Not in the usual way, perhaps. But you see, our man habitually wore a rather extraordinary ring.
A ring?
Of heavy silver.
A silver ring? No, I don't remember him wearing a ring. Then, of course, I was very upset. No, I'm absolutely certain he wasn't wearing a ring. Sorry, I haven't been able to help you much, have I?
And I'm sorry I've had to trouble you with it at all.
Will you excuse me?
Yes, of course. Allow me.
Thank you.
I've got an idea.
And what's that?
Can I persuade you to have lunch with me?
Well, I might, if you promise to protect me.
Protect you?
From the attentions of the press.
I'll do that. I'll see you out.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Baxter,
Yes?
there's a gentleman to see you, sir. He's waiting in the bar.
Who is it?
He didn't leave his name, sir.
All right. Thanks.
Oh, Mr. Baxter?
Yes, I'm David Baxter.
I'm Superintendent O'Brien of the Guard of Síochána.
How do you do?
The police. Could I have a word with you?
Well, by all means. Would you care for a drink?
Oh, yes, sir. Small Irish would do me nicely.
2 Jameson, please. Cigarette?
Oh, thanks. On holiday, Mr. Baxter?
I'm hoping to make it one while I'm here.
Well, we've nothing very special to offer, but it can be quite attractive here for people of quiet tastes. Tell me, Mr. Baxter, have you any particular interest in dead bodies?
Good heavens, no. Why?
Well, it strikes me as odd that a man on holiday might try and bribe his way into a mortuary. We have other amusements in the town, you know. Here.
Since your mortuary attendant is so incorruptible, I suppose I'd better tell you the truth. I represent an insurance company.
And on their behalf, you're interested in the body found on the beach?
Not the body so much as the ring.
What ring, Mr. Baxter?
The ring that was on the dead man's hand. Third finger, right hand, to be exact.
Was it so very valuable?
No, but it was part of a haul that was.
So the dead man was a jewel thief?
Not necessarily. But if I could positively identify that ring, I might get a line on what happened to the rest of the jewels.
There was no ring, Mr. Baxter.
Well, there goes the most promising lead I've had yet.
That's too bad. Still, now that you're here, let's hope you have a pleasant holiday. And, thanks for the interesting chat. Oh, if you should need me. But I hope you won't, Mr. Baxter. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Superintendent. It hardly seems necessary now. What do you want?
I'm sorry to break in like this, but put it down to the job, will you?
What is your job? You don't mind if I wash, do you? Who the hell are you, anyway?
The name's Kay. Paul Kay, Photo News Agency.
In that case, naturally, the drinks are free.
Well, thank you. I caught just one glimpse of you down in the lounge, and I remembered. It's Baxter, isn't it? David Baxter.
Right.
Right, never wrong. Monteverno in Italy, the big push. I was with the press mob, and you were with British intelligence. Crowns on the shoulder tabs and all that lot.
Pips, not crowns.
Well, pips or crowns, what's the difference? That's where we met, wasn't it? You do remember me, don't you? Oh, well, not to worry. It's a pity, though, because under the old Pals Act, I was going to ask you to do me a big favor.
Like what, Mr. Kay?
Oh, Paul. All my friends call me Paul. In fact, even some editors call me Paul.
Paul Kay. Oh, yes, your name's on that story about the body that was washed up on the beach.
Yes, that was my story, but it's as dead as the frogman unless I get a follow-up story. And that's where you can help me.
Go on.
Well, I got the story all right, but it seemed to me there was something more behind it. Look at it this way. A body gets washed up on the beach and nobody knows where it comes from. Yeah, have a drink.
Thank you.
Now, what's been happening? Sabotage on the Russian training ship at Plymouth? Or maybe someone's been having underwater fun and games at the Holy Loch.
You really believe that?
Well, I don't know what to believe. The last time we met was Italy, and you were with British intelligence. Now you turn up here. Well, what am I supposed to believe?
I was a lieutenant attached to intelligence. A second lieutenant and a wartime one at that.
Oh, sure.
Now I'm nothing more exciting than an assessor for an insurance company.
Of course. Yes.
You don't have to take my word for it. I'm here on behalf of my company because the body is here.
Well, it's fine. Now, you be the man from the Prue, if you like. But if a story breaks, how about letting me have first pop at it, huh?
Sure, sure. If anything worthwhile turns up. And if you want another drink, we'll have it down in the bar.
Oh, fine.
Now, look, if you'd like to run on ahead, I have some cigarettes to pick up.
Oh, hello. You must be the one. The one Paul was waiting for, only he couldn't because he was called to the phone. I called him.
I'm sure I ought to find that absolutely clear, but...
Oh, how stupid of me. I'm Gay Clifford. I'm the one who takes the pictures. Paul just writes the words. Dublin office were on the phone, so he asked me to keep you happy while he talked to the old man.
I see. My name's Baxter.
Yes, I know. Paul told me. You helped him capture Rome, or something.
Or something. I didn't remember it as clearly as he did. Look, shall we order while we wait?
Oh, thank you, no. You know how it is when two strong, silent men get on the phone to each other. They go on nattering for hours. Besides, I've got to see this stuff out on the afternoon train.
Some other time, perhaps?
Well, that's very rash of you, I warn you. Do you still want to wait for Paul?
I could think of more exciting things to do.
Well, then take your life in your hands and drive to the station with me. I'll show you the town, all of it, in 5 minutes flat.
Rash, she said. Two coffees, please.
Right over there. The tide wasn't quite so high, but that's the spot. Any help?
Not really. My job is just to identify the body. Do you think your friend Paul might help?
Help you to identify? Not a hope. Bodies don't interest Paul. Only the story behind them.
What about you?
When I'm working, all I see is what the camera sees. I think your best bet is the girl who actually found the body. Howard, the name is.
Linda Howard. Yes, I've talked to her. Poor kid's so upset she doesn't even want to think about it. I think it's getting on her nerves.
Why, you surprise me. That girl certainly had enough nerve down here on the beach. Do you know she stood by from the moment she found the body until the police arrived? Anyway, you might find something useful here. Now, this one is from the first roll that I shot off. See what I mean about Linda Howard? We had an argument about this. She insisted on covering up the body long before I finished taking my pictures. Furious when I made her move it. Well, that's about all. Oh, except I got one more shot just as the police were taking the body away.
Do you mind if I borrow these? They might come in useful.
Take the lot. I'd only junk them anyway. It's about time we were getting back. If I leave that boss of mine alone too long, he either gets himself a brand new story or a brand new girlfriend.
Thank you. You chalk that up to room 24.
24, sir.
Well, here's to the expense account. Long may it flourish. Cheers.
Yes. What did I tell you? Celebrating, Paul?
Of course. It so happens I've persuaded the old man in Dublin that we can stay on a few more days until the follow-up story breaks.
Well, good for you.
Oh, sit down, relax. Why don't we have lunch together, just the four of us?
Well, I rather thought that we had a date.
Well, we still have. Sorry, we've got a previous engagement. Look, I've got a few phone calls to make. It'll only take a minute. If you look after Linda, I'll slip off and do them now.
Well, I'm sure that's all right with us, if Linda doesn't mind.
Is this your idea of protection?
I won't be long, I promise.
Oh, waiter. A large gin and tonic for the lady. A double.
Thank you.
Hello, Beach Hotel? Yes, madam. The 27th.
I'm so glad to see you two have made it up. I'd begun to think you didn't like the press.
Paul has been very kind to me.
Yes, I'm sure he has. He's such a kind and considerate person, and so soothing for the nerves, if you know what I mean. Oh, cheers.
Oh, cheers. Hey, you haven't touched a drink.
Oh, leave the poor girl alone. Can't you see she's nervous?
I've left something upstairs. Will you excuse me?
Surely. I wonder why.
Oh, have another gin and tonic, dear. Perhaps it'll help you grow up.
You are thoughtful.
The bell's right beside you. Want to ring it, you can have the police here right away.
The police?
Frankly, I hope you won't. I owe you an explanation. I'd rather give it to you alone in front of a crowd of people who might include the press.
All right. I'm listening.
Yes, I was looking for the ring. I didn't expect to find it here, but I couldn't eliminate the possibility.
You thought there was a possibility.
Well, you were the one nearest the body when it was found. Linda, I can only offer you my sincere apologies.
You really mean that, don't you?
Yes. You're the very last one I wanted to deceive.
I'm beginning to feel a bit like that myself.
You?
Yes. I'm afraid I've deceived you, too. You were right about the ring.
I mean, you've got it.
After they moved the body, I saw it lying on the beach and I picked it up. I meant to give it to someone who was responsible for that sort of thing.
Why didn't you?
Well, there was so much going on. All those awful reporters and the fuss and everything. It went right out of my mind until...
Until when?
Well, until today when you mentioned it. Then I remembered. I nearly told you about it. But you were asking me such funny questions, and suddenly I thought it would be better to keep it for the police. You see, I didn't know you so well then.
Thank you, Linda.
Anyway, it was silly of me. I'll give it to you now. You can hand it over to the police yourself when you've finished your... It's gone.
Are you sure?
Yes, of course I'm sure. Someone must have taken it, but when? Why?
Because someone is trying to prevent the identification of their body. The criminals he was working with, and for a very simple reason. Because it would provide a direct link to himself. I'm afraid this is exactly what I was trying to forestall.
Oh, I should have realized that. I would have done my best to help, really I would.
Maybe you can help.
I wish I could.
First, I've got to try and identify their body, and then find out who took the ring.
Well, the nearest person to the body, after me, was Paul Kay.
Well, that idiot. Not a chance.
Well, then it must be Gay Clifford.
That's a thought. Maybe we ought to watch her. That's where you can help.
All right. Well, how about if I take you to the spot where I found the body?
Yes. That might lead to something. Let's go now.
Now?
Why not?
All right. This is it.
You sure this is the place?
Of course I'm sure. It was just over there. And the police car stopped somewhere up there on the road. Why?
Something a bit odd here. Not quite sure what it is yet. Linda, you stay here a minute. I'll be right back.
Right.
Yes. Yes. All right, but stay in the car.
Why couldn't I come up?
Too dangerous. Have you seen Baxter?
Yes, he was in the hotel. He and the Howard girl have gone out.
Do you think he suspects anything?
No, he seems too preoccupied with the girl.
Good. How about the ring?
Here.
Fine.
What now?
Drive north. It pays to have a good look at the escape routes. Your own and the other fellows.
What have you been doing?
Just as I thought. There is something odd here. The tide follows the line of that sandbar. Anything drifting in on the tide is swept where that flotsam is over there. Not here.
I still don't understand.
The body didn't drift in here at all. It couldn't have. It was brought here.
But how?
Not how, but who. Who arranged for that body to be on the spot for you to find? We've got to find the answer to that, and quick.
See that? Less than 50 miles of the border. Once across it, a man's back on British soil and under British jurisdiction.
I see, and you think Baxter might...
When you're dealing with David Baxter, there's no use thinking what he might do. You have to be sure.
And are you sure?
Well, nothing sure. But I do know how his mind works. When he finds what I know he'll find.
Well, what then?
Well, that's something you shouldn't know about. Just stick to your special job and keep on doing it.
And what am I doing now?
Getting back as fast as you can and dropping me off. Not too close to the bungalow.
Yes, Mr. Casey. Yes, I'll do that. You did see all the residents. Yes, I'll attend to it right away.
Porter, Mr. Kay, have you seen him?
I'm afraid not, sir. He was here with Miss Clifford.
Oh, thank you.
Why do you want Paul?
Well, it's nothing important.
Can I have my key, please?
I have a message for you from Mr. Casey.
And who is Mr. Casey?
Oh, he's that Irishman from America, isn't he?
Yes, well, he's flying home tomorrow. And he asked me if I'd invite all the other guests to a little farewell party.
Oh, that's very sweet of him.
Would you like to go?
Well, of course. It might be fun.
In that case, you're going to have plenty to do.
I'll go and iron my dress.
I'll see you later.
Oh, Miss Howard.
Yes?
Superintendent O'Brien left this for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Nothing wrong, I hope.
No, it's just that the inquest will be held at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Does that mean you'll soon be leaving us, Miss Howard?
Yes, I'm afraid it does. Quite soon.
Over 20,000 head of cattle on the Panhandle and 30,000 back home on the Casey Ranch.
Oh, look, there's Mr. Baxter. Come on and meet him, will you?
I'd be delighted.
Hello, Linda. Having a good time?
Marvelous. This is Mr. Casey.
Hi there.
Hello, Mr. Casey. Thanks for the party.
Mr. Casey's just been telling me about all the wonderful blondes on his ranch.
Cattle, ma'am. The finest longhorns you ever set eyes on.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Has anyone seen Miss Clifford?
No, as a matter of fact, I was trying to rope her into the party, but somebody said she got a job to do tonight.
Tonight? What about her boss?
Well, Paul Kay's been looking for her, too. He's working in his room, I think.
Look, Linda, will you excuse me for a minute?
Oh, well, what about our dance?
I'm sure Mr. Casey won't mind deputizing.
I'll be delighted. And I can just see you're dying to hear about those longhorns. And I'll tell you about the 14 oil wells I got as well.
Come in. Oh, hello. Is this a social call, or did you come to keep a promise? You remember about the story?
Let's say I just called for a chat about those wartime buddies of ours in Italy.
Oh, that. Well, let's just say that I knew someone who knew someone else who had a friend in British intelligence in Italy during the war. Call it a tip-off, huh?
Like the tip-off you got the other day? Just in time to get you down on the beach 5 minutes after a body was found.
Well, there's nothing wonderful about that, really. One of Gay's boyfriends was down there on the beach early in the morning, saw the body, phoned her up, to keep in with the lady of the press. Very simple.
Very. Gay's boyfriend was there as well.
Oh, correction, please. One of Gay's boyfriends. Of course, she collects them, singers, sailors, skiing instructors. This one watches birds.
A bird watcher?
Yeah, that's what he was doing down on the beach early in the morning. But the only bird he saw was Linda Howard learning the grim facts of life. So then he shook the sand out of his beard and dashed off to do his good deed for the day.
A beard? Did you know this man?
No, I don't know him. Gay never tells. But she does have a thing about men with beards.
A foreigner, perhaps?
Well, I don't know. Everyone's a foreigner to someone. Now, let me ask you a question. When are you going to let me in on this story?
I told you there isn't any story. I'm here on behalf of my company.
Oh, well, we've all got our jobs to do, haven't we? Come in.
Excuse me, sir. This just arrived in the evening train.
Oh, thanks, Marty.
And there's been a message for you from the superintendent.
Uh-huh.
The inquest will be at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
10 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And you'll be there, of course.
Of course. It's my job. And you?
Oh, me too. I'll be there. As a matter of fact, I'm beginning to be as interested in this body as you are.
Well, Mr. Casey's quite a character, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly is.
Have one of these, Miss Howard, before our cowboy friend rounds you up again.
Oh, no, I won't. Honestly, I'll get...
Come on,
But if that's a gin and bitter lemon, for heaven's sake, don't waste
Miss
it.
Clifford, where have you been? Come to join the party?
Well, I was supposed to be working on a
Oh,
job.
Paul's been paging you.
You see what I mean? No private life for a working girl. Where is he?
In his room, I think.
His room. I must check my contract, see if there's a clause about danger money in it. Thanks.
How about that drink?
Yes. No, I won't. I better
Yes,
not,
yes.
really.
Just have one more.
All right, I'll change my mind. Why not?
Yes, sir, Miss Clifford is in the hotel, but I understand she's busy and can't take any calls. If you'd like to leave a message... Very well, I'll see she gets it.
Where's Miss Howard?
I think she's inside dancing, sir.
Thank you. I cut in?
I guess so, but I'll be right back.
Good. Was that nice? After all, he is our host.
It's an old American custom, cutting in. You heard the news?
About the inquest? Yes. Mr. O'Brien sent me word.
Doesn't give us much time.
Why?
The inquest will be over in 12 hours or less. So will be my chance of checking on that body. I've got to find out who that dead man is tonight.
How? The evening's nearly over.
Let's find somewhere quiet. I'd like to think.
Well, do you want to talk? Or am I still a little girl who should be seen but not heard?
Look, this doesn't make sense. On the third finger of the right hand, there's a ring. Now, have a look at this print. And this one.
No ring. Well, I could have told you yesterday when I ran off the first set of prints.
Oh, marvelous.
Well, don't look at me. I didn't take it.
Well, who did?
Well, surely the police. It would be the first thing they'd do, take possession of a thing like that.
Yeah, but if they did, why all the secrecy? Or maybe that's why Baxter's here. Maybe he spotted something was missing and... Yeah, but if that's the case, why doesn't he go to the police and ask them about it?
Well, maybe they don't like the man from the insurance.
Oh, the man from the insurance. The trouble with you is you've got no nose for a story. Now, there is a story here, if I could just...
If only you could remember that I need a drink sometimes. You coming?
No, you go on.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah?
Leave the camera, will you?
What, my camera? Now, look, if there's any pictures to shoot, I want to be around.
No, no pictures. I just want to look as though I'm working.
Clever.
Now, what'll we drink to now?
Oh, who cares?
The little lady's right. Fine liquor like this don't need a toast to help it down. No, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Casey, but you will excuse us. Miss Howard and I have some rather pressing business to attend to.
Pressing business at this hour of night? Why, you slimy dog, you. Go on, you two, kid. And we'll keep the party going till you come back. Come on now.
David, you are terrible. You made him think.
To hell with what he thinks.
Well, after all, it was his... Oh.
Linda, I think you're a little drunk.
Oh. Look what I found.
Don't be a fool, Linda. Give it to me. Give it to me.
You try and get it then.
Ah, so it's that kind of a party, is it? Oh, well, don't mind me, my little ones. Auntie Gay won't tell.
Oh, Miss Griffiths, there's been a call for you. This is urgent. Would you call back?
Yes, of course.
This is serious. Give it to me.
Right. There you are.
For heaven's sake, Linda, stay put.
Well, I tell you, the only bump steer you get in Texas is a bump steer. Yes, I just the deep south, man. The deep south. It's so deep we consider North Carolina
Now, she said, why don't you ask him? He's cutting your hair. Now, how about a dance, little lady?
Well, there you are.
How do you want to play?
David, I know I've had a few drinks, but I'm not seeing things, am I?
What do you mean?
Look, the man in that picture. He's wearing exactly the same ring as the one I found on the dead frogman.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
Barman,
Yes, sir?
that man in the picture with the beard, do you happen to know him?
Well, not by name, but I've seen him around.
Nothing about him, where he lives?
Well, yes, sir. Do you know Killiney Head?
Uh-huh.
Well, up there's a bungalow, and he lives in that.
Thanks. Now, listen, Linda. This is the lead I've been waiting for. I'll need you and your car. Just don't want to help.
Yes, yes, of course.
There's a good girl. Come on. Wait here. Be ready to move as soon as I get back.
Right.
Texas. 'Cause I don't want to see you. 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 '
you.
Get me the police.
Thanks very much. That's just what I wanted. But you know, you could have saved us both a lot of trouble if you'd given me this story in the first place.
It wasn't any story.
Oh, come off it, Baxter. You're forcing me to get this story bit by bit and print it the same way. All right, then. Here's installment number 2, The Nightlife of an Insurance Man.
Clifftop Road. Quick.
Well, it's a good job you got hold of us.
Thank you, sir.
All right, all right. Put out that call.
Yes, sir.
So, Baxter slugged the period.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, look, all right. What were you doing in here, anyway?
Oh, you'd never believe me.
Look, come on. What happened?
Oh, sir.
Look, shut up. Well?
I was after a follow-up story.
This'll do. Turn the car around and wait.
David, I don't want to interfere, but did you find what you were looking for?
I found enough.
Are you going to arrest somebody?
Unfortunately, I haven't got the power of arrest.
Do be careful. What are you going to do?
Whoever stole that ring might still be there. I want to make sure and notify the police.
The police? Couldn't you notify them now?
Not until I'm absolutely certain. You do understand?
Yes, I understand, but I...
Don't worry.
It's all right, it's me.
Will it work?
Too soon to say. What are you doing?
Fishing for a little information. Gay Clifford here. Would you put me through to Paul Kay's room, please?
Hello? Oh, it's you. Where are you then?
Oh, the usual, love nest. Where did you expect? Don't tell me you've been working.
Oh, I've been working all right. I just got back.
Back from where?
I went to the mortuary after our little follow-up story. Oh, I got it right in the jaw. Say nothing of a busted camera.
My camera? Paul, honestly, you are the end.
What do you mean, the end? I lose my beauty sleep in the interests of the job, our job, remember, and while you're gallivanting around the countryside with your boyfriend for a bit of slap and tickle, I find myself in a punch-up, and all you can say is, oh, my poor camera.
I'm sorry, Paul. Who hit you?
Have a guess. Our old friend Baxter, of course. And the police are out looking for him now. When are you coming back?
Oh, in time for breakfast. Maybe. So far, so good. Baxter's on the run. The police are after him. What now?
The hardest part. We wait.
What if he should panic?
Trust Baxter for that. He won't. Lights, Gay. Evening, Baxter. Almost on time, I see. Shut the door, there's a good fellow. Now come straight on in. Hands well away from pockets, please.
So it's you, Fallon.
Sorry to disappoint you, Baxter. Naturally, you'd prefer that it was me lying on that slab.
That's right. Whether alive or dead, the fact you're here confirms what I suspected. That you crossed the line to your friends in Berlin when you guessed I was getting close to you.
So that's the story you told our department chief when you sent me to see your friends, huh? Oh, they were waiting all right. A whole reception committee waiting with Tommy guns. It was a neat trap and it worked.
If it was a trap, why are you here?
I escaped. Only because they decided to allow it.
Allowed it?
Yeah, I was able to convince them that I'd be more use to them alive than dead.
That makes sense. But it comes to the same thing, doesn't it, Fallon? You admit that if you weren't working for them before, you are now. Is that it?
When they gave me the chance, I took it. I wanted very much to live.
So do we all.
Yes, but in my case, for a very special reason. I wanted to find the man who betrayed me.
And for that, you wanted them to believe you were dead and planted a body to confirm it. It might have worked, Fallon, even though the ring you planted on the body, your ring, was lost. A very clever bit of planning, Fallon. Except for one small item. The fact that I might turn up and upset it.
You're wrong, Baxter. Wrong about so many things. Including this. Wasn't it this ring that brought you here?
I came to find you, Fallon, and take you back.
You'll never get the chance.
You're making a mistake.
I was the man you trapped, remember?
I mean it, Fallon, a mistake. The greatest men like us can make. To hate. To want to kill for revenge. Personal revenge.
You admit, then, that you did betray me?
I was acting under orders. The situation is quite different now.
Different?
New factors have turned up. Factors that you and I can turn to our mutual advantage.
Go on. Oh, you can talk quite freely. She works for me.
You assumed that when I found out the body wasn't yours, my report would upset your careful little plan.
So?
Well, you were wrong. I, too, wanted them to believe you were dead. They were looking for a double agent. I intended they should find one. Conveniently dead. I can still make that report, Fallon. And you and I will be free to work together.
What would you want from me?
Well, you might start by offering me a drink.
I told you to stay in the car. Come on, we can't lose him now.
David, is that an inn over there?
Yes.
Let's stop.
Why?
Why? Because I'm tired and hungry.
All right. They might be able to tell us if another car's passed by.
And a whiskey for you, sir.
Right. There's sure no cars have passed by here recently.
Nary a one since yesterday, sir. It's quiet around here.
Yes, so I see. Very.
Hello?
Aren't you going to have a sandwich?
Yes, sir. Haggerty's pub it is, and Haggerty himself is speaking. Oh, run out of petrol, have you? Now, that's a sad thing. There's no pump in these parts, sir. Well, sir, there's a tractor up at Riley's farm. They might spare you a can. Sure, I'll ask them, sir. Where did you say you are? 10th Milestone Antrim Road. That's a lonely spot, sir. And the number of the car? HRI 1104. Right, sir. But I doubt if they can send it.
Maybe I can help. I'm going that way.
You are, sir. Hold on a minute, sir.
Look, you get the petrol and I'll take it. We motorists have got to stick together, you know.
It's kind you are, sir. It'll be all right, sir. Someone will bring it along to you shortly. Right you are, sir. Goodbye, sir. I'll send the boy over to Riley's farm, sir.
Right. Did you hear that, Linda?
Yes.
Now drink up. As soon as that petrol's here, we're on our way. Look, can't you hurry up?
I'm being as quick as I can.
Excuse me, sir. The boy's going to pick it up.
How long will he be?
Oh, matter of a minute, sir. Would you be wanting something else?
Give me another double, will you?
Double, sir.
What's that? What's going on out there?
Oh, 'tis only Murphy's lorry and a load of pigs, sir.
Better drink up your coffee.
I can't. It's too hot.
And leave it. We'll wait outside.
Excuse me, sir. Would you be forgetting?
How much do I owe you?
6 shillings, sir, and 3 and 6 for the double.
Give me 20 cigarettes, will you?
That'll be another 4 and 6, sir. Sir? You're a change, sir.
Thank you. Come on, we're leaving.
What about the petrol?
Don't argue. We're across the border. This is Northern Ireland.
And suppose it is.
Did you know this?
Yes. Yes, it could be. Could be. Sweet, innocent Linda Howard. Who was so upset to find a body on the beach. Simple Miss Howard. Who only wanted to help. Led me across the border. Who are you? Who are you working for? Answer me.
Don't try it, Baxter. We've got the place surrounded. Drop that gun. Drop it, Baxter. I went for orders, all right.
Orders? Whose orders?
Those who wanted you back to stand trial in Britain. You'll stand a better chance there than you gave me in Berlin.
They'll have to try both of us, Fallon.
Wrong again, Baxter. They knew that you had to be absolutely sure that the one man who could expose you couldn't come back to life. That's why you jumped at this assignment. And walked straight into the trap that we've been preparing for 6 months. Empty. You did this?
Yes. Yes, at the party.
To hate. To want to kill for revenge. He called it the biggest mistake of all for people in our job. He was so right. This time.